up, guys? Hey, it's your girl D from the Voice Gathering Live podcast show. Welcome to my place. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's a new week and a new show, and I am so excited today to have a conversation with you guys. So, before we get into this conversation, always, and at some point, hopefully, with the improvements I made on the show, I won't have to always remind you guys how to participate in the conversation. But I won't find it robbery, so I will share. Okay, so you're here. So hopefully, since you're here, you have already subscribed to this channel. So let's try some new things I have been able to do, right? I'm just going to show you this really quickly. All you got to do is just do this. Let's just stated earlier, we have new conversations, new things going on, and new things happening with the show. So just want to let you know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell after you've clicked that subscribe button, and then make sure you're getting all notifications when we are live. As I stated earlier, make sure you are clicking the thumbs up or thumbs down. It tells me that you are enjoying the conversation, or it's something about the show you didn't like. It's important for me to know how I'm doing on this show, and it's important for me to know how you are responding to it. Post a comment, say hello, how you doing? I want to know what's going on with you guys. As I stated earlier, we got the Q&A part here. So since we got question and answer, I want to be able to answer your questions and give you an answer. I just want to do that because it's important to me. Your voice is important. That's why the show is called Voices Gathering. It's not just my voice, it's your voice via the comments, it's your voice via email. It's your voice, and it's important. So get involved in the process. That bell has already gotten on my nerves. Anywho, guys, listen, we always keep it real here. So when we're talking about real talk, we're going to keep it honest. You can be as transparent as you want, because that's what I plan to do. I plan to give you my opinions, my thoughts, my views, and it's just mine. You don't have to agree with it. You don't. But I'm hoping that as you're standing in the space that you're in and you have subscribed to this channel, that you are benefiting from the conversation, even if it's an aha moment. If I can create an aha moment with you, then I'm doing my job. If we're talking about hot topics to what today we're talking about, and that is finding peace in the midst of the storm, we're going to talk about it. So let's do it together. All right. So I want to, as always, slow it on down. Slow it down and share this with you. So I was thinking about today's show, and I was really saying, okay, there's so much to talk about. We have the Juneteenth show coming up. We have a conversation coming up with law enforcement about the how people and law enforcement can work together in the community and kind of change the environment in which we live in. And then we also have Pride Month. This is Pride Month. So I'm just going to say it right now. A big shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. Happy Pride Month to you guys. I am an ally in the community. I am advocating for voices. I believe that I am no one's judge. You can't judge me. I can't judge you. So let's just choose to just not judge anybody, right? So happy Pride Month to my LGBTQ plus community. I wish you guys the best. And I'm hoping to have an exciting well-informed show coming up in the next couple of weeks before June is over. All right. I see two people's in the comments. So I see Arab. Thank you, Arab, for letting me know that the bell was going off. At least you know that bell is to remind you to subscribe to the channel, right? So anytime something is a little bit out of whack, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Guys, think about the question. How do you find peace in the midst of the storm? Is today's conversation. Oftentimes we are starting our day, ending our day, and the whole time being in the midst of a storm, some kind of emotional, spiritual storm, and we can't figure out how to get out of it. I often talk to people about many troubles they go through. Oh boy, do I give advice all the time. And I try to use my own advice. And I say try because oftentimes you have to go to someone else. You give to someone, now you have to go to someone else to get it, right? So I really go to different people to kind of help me weather the storms of life. So why not bring those conversations to this platform? We're not just going to talk about hot topics and what celebrities are doing, because if you pay attention to social media enough, you'll see many of them are already in their own storms. The only thing different from those who are celebrities and have resources and money is they have connection and they're able to access information quickly. So my job as a motivational speaker, as a counselor, and I'm not here counseling anyone, but I'm definitely here as a motivational speaker, is to help you figure out that storm and figure out how to weather it so that you come out unscathed and managing your peace. I often see people looking for happiness because they're unhappy, right? But they're looking for happiness in the wrong place. They're looking for happiness in all these other places that's really causing their storm to get more out of control, right? They're looking for happiness in people who already have their own storms. They're looking for happiness in addiction, whether it is doing drugs or sex addiction. They're looking for happiness and criminal behaviors, such as just taking that frustration and anger out on people, the environment, their neighborhoods. They just don't seem to know how to manage it. But the question is, how does one manage the storms in their life? Well, I'm going to tell you the very thing I keep saying on the show as of lately is slow things down. If you're caught up in a storm, a life storm, and you can't figure out how to weather the storm, you have to first give yourself permission to slow it down. You don't need to get an answer immediately when you're in the storm, but you have to be focused on getting an answer. Hear me clearly. You don't need to find an answer immediately in the storm, but the goal should be to find an answer while you're in the storm. And that is because once you figure out what the answer is while you're in it, the likelihood of you returning back into that storm is very slim. I'm not saying impossible, but it's very slim because you've identified what the storm is. Right? So for some, the storm is not liking your job. The storm is having been abused by a significant other. The storm is having been let down by your family. The storm could be addiction, mental health. There are many different storms. And for a lot of people are dealing with many storms. It's like a cyclone. It's not just one storm. There are many brewing in your space. But you only can move forward by taking one step at a time, right? So how do you do this? What's the first thing I said? Slow it down. Recognize that you are in a mental, physical, emotional storm. Recognize it for what it is. We often try to compensate the unhappiness by doing the wrong thing. Lying, stealing, using drugs, abusing others, cheating. Just so many different things that we do. So if you think about it, there's a way to kind of manage it. People oftentimes believe that it's impossible to manage a storm in your life. And I disagree. It's actually possible to manage storms. It really is. When I was in school, sidebar, which I'm still in school, but I'll never forget, I had an assignment. And the assignment was to write something about just life. And I used the metaphor of, hi Latifa, I'm so glad to see you. I used the metaphor of this. It's like skating. And then you're skating and you're moving and you're gliding and you're just going along. And before you know it, you fell down and you're in this hole. And you're like, oh my gosh, I fell down. Let me get up and get out of this. And then you get up, get your skates back under you, and then you start skating again. And before you know it, you're in another storm, another hole. And then you try to get up and get out of it. And oftentimes I find people don't try to take the time to figure out what has happened and how did I end up in this hole? How did I get here? What caused me to be here? What was the pitfall? What was the black hole that I missed? Once they realized what it was, they were able to say, aha, I noticed this, and now I know how to prevent falling in this kind of hole. You can't bank on other people giving you what you need. You must be willing to give yourself permission to find what it is you need. And oftentimes, it's not what you think. It really isn't. See, they say happiness comes from within. And I agree. But happiness is also what is happening around us. So if there's things around you that's causing storms to brew, then the likelihood is that something's going to occur. Something's going to be out of sync. Something's going to be out of whack in your life. And then you're banging your head against everything in your life and you're saying, well, wait a minute, why can't I be happy? Why am I so miserable? What is going on? And then guess what? The people around you, innocent people, they become miserable around you because you have not gotten control of the storm in your life. You cannot always look to have other people make you happy. You have to be willing to do the work and figure out what it is. I'm telling you, let's be very clear. Hashtag, let's be clear. There's a lot of people who just like being unhappy. A lot of people like being unhappy. And when you're unhappy and they're unhappy, they just love that. But a lot of people I come in contact with is sick and tired of being sick and tired. So they're tired of being unhappy. So now they're looking for a way to get control of their happiness. How do you do that? I'm bringing you guys, I'm going to keep going back to, because I don't want you to miss this. Maybe you should be taking notes. Slow it down. Oftentimes we're too quick to react. React is jumping out of the hole or the storm too fast before you realize what it is you're supposed to gain while you're in the storm so that you don't end up in the storm again. Get what you need while you're there so you don't have to be there again trying to figure this thing out. Do you know that people are in relationships with people and they're totally unhappy? Do you know that people go to a job and they're totally unhappy? Do you know that? I mean, really, they're unhappy. And instead of doing the work to figure out how to make this a happy space, let me use my job for an example. Now, I am employed by somebody else outside of having my own company. And let's be very clear. Oftentimes, when you're not being supported and recognized, it creates unhappiness for me because I'm a very hard worker. But when it creates unhappiness for me, I'm like, I can either choose to be unhappy or I can choose to do something about it. And I know for some people listening right now, I bet you believe that the only way to be happy is to just leave your job. That's the only way. Well, wait, if I leave my job and I have another job set up to take care of my responsibilities, that's just going to create more happiness. So that's not the answer. The answer is not to just jump, I'm quitting, I'm leaving. No. It's for you to recognize I'm unhappy. It's for you to recognize something's not right. Think about this and figure out what to do to manage that situation so that when you get ready to make a move, you are already good. You're not going from chaos to another chaotic situation. You actually says, I know what it was about this job or that job that caused me to be unhappy. So now that I'm going to be seeking new employment, now that I'm going to be marketing myself, I know what to look for and what not to agree to. I.e., when they give you a job description and say this will be your responsibility, you can say, oops, nope, that doesn't work for me. So yeah, you know what? This is not the job for me. No, thank you, but thank you. Period. You have that authority and that right to do that. Let's try this another way. I like making things personal, transparency, right? So I used to I started this show, and if you know anything about YouTube, and we're not going to go there real long, but if you know anything about YouTube, you're not making any kind of movements unless you are getting the numbers in the comments and people subscribing, all those things. And boy, when I tell you, I was stressed in the beginning because I felt like I was bringing good content. I felt like I had something important to say. And I also knew people who said they would support me. Baby, I'm not throwing anybody out there, but if you know this is you, you're wearing the shoes, keep on walking in the shoes. Nevertheless, I was becoming frustrated because I was putting my happiness, it was contingent on people following me, subscribing, and being involved on a weekly basis on this show. Once I realized, Diamond, this is causing you to be unhappy. And all the money you put into your studio, all the money that you put into marketing yourself, it would be a waste. I'll never forget my significant other told me, when I tell you, I actually took everything down in the studio, and it was before it got as big as it is now. And I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I packed everything up, which was not that much, but enough, and threw all that stuff, which was a lot of money, into my storage. And my husband was like, no, get that out. And those was not his words. He had some choice words for the items. And he was like, you got to do it a different way. You have to do it a different way. You cannot give up on what you really believe in, banking on these people and trying to do the show live so that you can keep their attention. If they are your supporters, they're going to subscribe to your channel, follow you. They're going to look at the content. They're going to post and get all involved in that process, even if the show is live or not live and it was uploaded later. Once I was able to process that feedback and look at it for what it was, try some new things as far as technology to keep the thing, this engine running smooth, I got it. It made sense. And he was absolutely right. So, now I'm like, I got to get a show live. I got to be live. Latifah's in the comments, and I know that she is a very busy woman. Rob is always there, and there's other people, and I'm not throwing people under the bus, but you know what? They say give people their flowers when you can, not when it's too late. So I'm recognizing at least the people in the chats today, and I'm like, okay, look, we doing things here. So it was no longer contingent on people showing up. It was contingent on my happiness, on produce good content, make things move and transition smoothly. And I want to get better and better, because when I tell you that you see these things here, I'm managing everything. But baby, at some point you stay around this show long enough, you're going to see me clicking buttons and everything's going to be moving like, I'm not going to use that slogan, but you'll see things move more easy. So you see that transition? That's because I stopped stressing about something that I could not control. Listen, that's not always going to work as soon as you want it to work, but you got to keep doing the work for it to work. You just have to. You have to do the work so that it will work. So I choose to manage my own happiness. I choose to recognize when I am looking at my happiness being contingent on something that really is not reliable. People, so many other things. And for me, it's people when it comes to the show. It is, because that's what propels this show. But I'm like, Diamond, do you love what you do? Absolutely. Then your happiness is not contingent on them. Your happiness is contingent on you doing the work and doing good work. Going back to people and working at jobs that they're unhappy with. If you are constantly just showing up at your job, punching a time clock every day, getting underpaid, and you're not thinking about the overall mission of being happy, then you're never going to put your foot forward and do something different. A lot of people are living in a paralyzed situation, so they remain unhappy. They remain in the midst of the storm that continues to swallow them up day in, day out, day in and day out. So the people around them add to that fury in their life, or the people around you become unhappy because you're unhappy. We got one life, people. One life. No one's ever told me that they came here and lived here and left this place and came back and said they're going to do it all over again. All we know is we got one life, and we got one life to live it to the best of our abilities. So if you know you're living in the midst of a storm, then I would say to you that you're definitely not living your life to your best ability. You're just living. Matter of fact, you're not even living. You're existing. And I don't know how that serves you. But I can tell you, if you look back over your life and look where you are now, you're probably like, wait a minute, this is not serving me any good at all. Because either I'm still unhappy all these years or I'm now becoming unhappy. So it's not serving you at all. You got to be willing to do the work. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Wow. Kendra's in the building. I see some people in the comments, and I'm truly excited that you guys are here. Thank you so much for showing up. I want to look at it because Latifa is commenting. Yes, let's see. Facts. We got, what got me here? What got me here? Okay. True. Be sleeping with the enemy. Someone. Yes, absolutely. Sleeping with the enemy and someone that don't even love you. Absolutely true, Latifa. And let me tell you something, what I know about Latifa, and I know I'm not putting her business out there, but she'll tell you in a quick heartbeat. She'd rather be by herself than to be with somebody who is not making her happy. She is not the kind of woman that's going to just have you there for contentment. She's not. She'd rather be by herself. She is not about giving up her happiness to make someone else happy. She's just not that kind of person. She's not. And that's what I appreciate about her. Thank you so much, Latifa, which is why she says she's here, because that's who she is, right? So, again, people, ask yourself the question, and it's not $1 million question. It's a simple question. Are you living your best life, and are you happy? Or do you find yourself in the midst of a storm and you don't know how to get out of it? And if that is you, then I encourage you to give yourself permission to say, no more, no more will I walk under a dark cloud looking for happiness. I give myself permission to walk under the rays of sunshine and be happy. And I give myself permission to tell people, you no longer operate a space in this place. So I'm going to give you your walking papers and I'm going to salute you a goodbye. Because you are causing me unhappiness. You are causing me to feel like I'm under a dark cloud. Don't be hasty to make that decision. Slow it down and think about it. Think about it. I tell people all the time, really they're looking for an answer that already lies within. They just need help uncovering it. You must add to my happiness. Absolutely. If you're not adding to someone's happiness, you got to go. And understand, guys, don't measure your happiness against someone else's happiness. I think we've all been there. Honestly, if you're breathing, I think we've all been there. Oh, such and such is happy. Such and such has this. Such and such got that. Such and such was able to do this. And we're like, oh, well, I should be able to do the same thing. Be careful how you measure your happiness against someone else. You have no idea how they got there. And I'm not sure if you really want to know how they got there, because some people have really, really trenched through high waters, low valleys, and came out scorched. And now they say they're happiness. And truth be told, they're probably still not happy. Okay? They're probably still not happy. Real talk. Real talk. They're probably still not happy. And since they're not happy, they live in the fake life and believing they are, and it's not working. It's absolutely not working. It's not working. I know some people that just became engaged. I won't say who they are. And I bet you any amount of money, this individual is like, oh no, ma'am, No, 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 no. If you wasn't bringing me happiness, then there's no way we could have got engaged. So obviously this individual definitely was, one, happy, two, the person added to their happiness, and now they're trying to build or getting ready to build a more happy life together. You got to bring your own. You have to bring your own. You have to do the work. You cannot be looking for someone else to do the work for you. It's not going to work. It's not. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Hear me loud and clear. If you sit back, if you ever kept a journal, if you look back in your journal and you was honest, not the pretending journal, if you were honest in your journal, you'll be able to see like, wait, I'm not doing the work, or I've done great work. Because let me tell you something. Money, fame is not going to make you happy. It adds to your happiness. You already possess happiness. You possess it. It's within you. You got it. Right? So it can't be the thing that makes you happy. It adds to it. I was telling someone over the weekend, look, I'm not rich, but if I became rich and where my life is now with my significant other, I want to share that richness with my significant other. Because there's some people right now will tell you, oh, no. I want to get rich. And once I get rich, honey, we're out. I'm done with this person. I'm done with that person. That tells you the person's not happy. Their happiness is contingent on what the other person is bringing into the relationship. No, absolutely not. Something ain't right. You can't do it that way. You're doing it backwards. You're doing it backwards. Get your happiness in order and get someone who can add to your happiness. You cannot put your eggs in one basket and hoping that person will care for that basket of eggs, your happiness, right? And not drop it. If they're not doing their work, you gonna put your eggs in that basket? No. No. Get out of the storm, people. Wake up, smell the roses, and understand one life. It's one life. You get it one. You get to do this ride one time. So you got to make this ride count. It's the simple things in life that bring joy. Really, people are looking for like this great, enormous thing in their life to bring them joy. And that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's not. It's not going to work. And you know what? I believe that to be true. I believe it to be true. And if you believe it to be true, I'm going to ask you to drop some diamonds in the comment section. Drop some flames in the comment section. Let me know if you are jiving with the conversation. Let me know. Because I'm telling you, I understand happiness starts with you, not with anyone else. Happiness does not start with financial gain. It doesn't. You have to already be happy. Happiness doesn't start with getting a car, buying a house, wearing diamonds. It does not. It adds to your happiness. Happiness is not contingent on my sister, my brother, my husband, my family. Happiness starts with me. So when I show up, I bring my happiness there. I bring it. I don't look for someone to bring it to me. I bring my happiness there. I own it. It belongs to me. No one gets to take my happiness away from me. No one gets to damper my spirit. You don't. Now, let's be real. Let's be real. You will have people in your life, right, guys, that will test you, right? They will test you. But my question to you guys is this. What do you do when someone is testing your happiness? What do you do? let's start with just the friend. And that's why I got the QA up right now, because I'm asking you guys a question. What do you do when a friend tests your happiness? I'm curious. Because I've had people who are friends in my life. Let me tell you something. If you know me, I don't consider everybody a friend. Just because we meet, I have to earn your friendship. I don't expect you to just automatically be my friend. And I have to be very honest. As a counselor, when people tell me that, I'm cringing because I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't really even know that person. And you're already calling them your best friend. You're already calling them your friend, your boo, and all those different things. No. No. For me to be your friend, I got to do the work. I got to earn your friendship. Because if I'm earning your friendship, then it's more likely that I'm going to keep storms out of your life because I am a friend. I don't care to bring storms to your life. I actually care to help you alleviate those storms. That's what I choose to do. I don't choose to walk around or bring chaos to someone else's life. So the question is, what do you do? How do you manage those storms? Because I don't manage them in a way people want me to. I manage them that works for me. And when a storm is brewing, I slow that sucker down. I'm like, Diamond, how are you feeling? Diamond, what is annoying you? And Diamond, what do you need to do? And in that, I'm hoping that I would then have to go to the person and have a conversation with that person. I am big on saying, can we talk? And over time, I've improved. Let's be clear. Hashtag let's be clear. I'm going to even just put that myself because I guess everyone knows my slogan. I'm putting that. I'm putting it. I did. So, I'm very big on slowing it down, and thinking about this whole thing and saying, can we have a conversation? And listen, remember I said, don't be so quick to rush. I think some people think that, you can't be honest and real and authentic because you've been mad all this time. No. That's me slowing things down. I'm not quick to turn around because I don't want to appease or because there's tension in the air. I need to make you feel better by making myself feel worse. Absolutely not. Not going to do it. Ain't going to happen. No. Not doing it. Not going to do it. I'm going to slow it down. Because if I slow it down and think about it, you're going to benefit hopefully from it because we're friends, right? We're family. You're my husband. I'm your wife. We're going to slow things down. And I'm going to say, let's have a conversation. People think because you say, let's have a conversation, it should be easy. No, oftentimes conversations that are that need to be addressed are often hard conversations to have. They are. They just are. It's just what it is. But you got to give the person, once this conversation happens, permission so that they can slow it down. Meditate on it. And come back authentic, honest, and ready to have the real conversation. Oh, we got a QA. Question and answer. Hit the pause button, take a break, redirect, and try another way. Yes, Kendra. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. It's those people who don't do that, Kendra, is the problem, though. They just think, well, I'm just going to ignore this whole thing. I'm just going to ignore the elephant in the room. I'm not going to pay attention to the storm that's brewing right now. I'm just going to ignore it. So they think ignoring it solves the problem. It does not. It exacerbates the problem. That's what it does. It exacerbates the problem. It becomes worse than it needs to be. How do you expect young adults, children who see people who are adults don't know how to manage storms in their life? Do you think this is why a lot of children have tantrums. If I know they have the toddler tantrum, but I'm talking about those other tantrums. They want what they want when they want it and how they want it. And a lot of time people give into those things because they think this is the way to manage the storm. I'm just going to give into what you want instead of we talking about it. I have nieces and nephews and I'm infamous and they know this. Let's have a conversation. What's going on? My job is to hear, listen, process, then respond. And when I'm off my game, because no one is perfect, and it comes to my remembrance, like, Diamond, wait a minute. Slow that sucker down. You're now reacting on emotions. Remove yourself from the situation. Don't remove yourself from the situation mentally. Remove yourself from the situation physically. You and your emotions and thinking, go somewhere and process this. As you process it, figure out where you play a part in it. And if you don't play a part, don't own it. Because people like to ride on that. Oh, it's both of us. No, this is not. Absolutely not. You know why? Because I did the work. I looked at my storm. I paid attention to it. I don't see me in this, nor the creator of the storm. So I'm not going to hold myself a prisoner to that storm. That storm belongs to you. And since it belongs to you, I'm going to let you keep it. Now, what I will do is meet you and have a conversation about it. I'll do that because I want to help you weather the storm, and I also don't want to be hurt by the storm that's in your life. I don't want that. I think it's unfair. Absolutely unfair. If you care about me as a friend, if you care about me as a family member, if you care about me as a significant other, if you care about me as an employee, then figure out how to weather the storm. What is it? Human relations? And I probably said that wrong. Sorry, guys. But employers, they have a responsibility to make sure that the morale in their business is not tainted by storms. Nobody gets off this. Employers, significant others, family members, friends, no one gets off this. No one. Everybody's responsible for their own happiness. And everybody's responsible for if you are coming into a place and tainting the happiness in that place. No, you don't get that. You absolutely don't get that. And I'm not going to give you a pass to have it. Absolutely not. We need to be smart. We need to be honest with each other. And we need to say, listen, I am not going to bring storms in your life. I'm actually going to help you manage them. I am. And I love you, respect you. You're employed here enough to manage the storm. We don't have to always agree, but we have to be respectful about what it is we disagreeing about. It's easy to agree because we're on the same page. But it's more challenging to be respectful for some people as we disagree. Right? It is. It just is. And you can do it. How do you do it? You be honest. You allow the person to be honest and transparent, and you allow them and encourage them to do the work, figure it out, and get on better grounding. That's how you do it. It's right in the comments. Kendra said it. That's how you do it. Here, I'm going to end the show with this. You'll know if everything we're talking about today is actually working, if you're doing the work, right? You'll know if it's working because the people around you either are going to get in line with what you're doing, or they are going to raise more hell in your life and get out of line. They won't say, I'm sorry. They won't apologize. They will continue to try to excuse their behaviors. They would continue to try to excuse the storms they're bringing in your life. They're going to try to excuse their lack of stepping up where you need them to step up. They're going to underpay you. They're going to make excuses. That's when you know that they're not doing the work. Because someone who's invested in your happiness is going to do the work. So the first person that needs to be invested is you. You. Nobody else but you. You. Stop waiting for someone else to do it. It all is contingent on you. And if you do the work, you'll realize, hey, wait a minute. Things wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I'm going to be honest. Things wasn't that bad. So I give myself permission to be happy. I give myself permission to forgive the other person. I give myself permission to start a new career. I give myself permission to find a rainbow in the sky. I give myself permission. And I expect, not hope, I expect you in my life that I share it with, you where I go to do my service at, such as my employer, you is my friend and we're building this foundation, you have a responsibility. And there's two things. One, not to bring storms in my life. And two, help me help you manage our storms together. That's important. If you do that, it all will work out in due time. Just do it. Do the work. Do the work. I'm really, 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 really excited about today's show. You know, I could have started some other shows earlier, but something came up. Someone brought it to my attention. I had a conversation with two people and they were asking me what to do. And I was like, you know what? I care enough to help you manage this. Why not help other people? Why not just screw the light bulb on a little bit tighter so people can really see the light and not remain in darkness? So I brought the show here. And I'm glad I did that because at the end of the day, not only am I helping these two individuals, not only did they help me strike up this conversation today, but I'm helping all those who subscribe to this channel or watch this show later at a later time. As a motivational speaker, that's my job. As being educated in the field of counseling, that's my job. We ain't going to be just talking about everybody's business, child, gossiping like everybody other podcast show. My significant other said this to me. He says, do what you do best. And you do well at giving people advice, coming from an empathetic place and listening to people. Latifah would tell you that she was my first consumer, my first payee. She was the first person to pay me for a service. And it worked out for her. And I would bet you any amount of money today she still used those techniques. It works if you work it. All right now. So I truly, 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 truly am so glad that you guys stayed around, joined the show. I'm really glad to see some old names in the chat. Kendra, thank you so much for showing up. Trust me, you showing up here is not unnoticed. Latifah, thank you so much, girl, for holding the show down. Thank you, Rob, for popping in and letting me know that bell was going off. I apologize by that, but let's be clear. I'm going to get so better at moving these things around here that you ain't even going to know that I'm the only person managing this big show. Listen, do me a favor. Don't forget, thumbs up. Say something in the comments. Make sure you subscribed. And obviously you guys are subscribed because you got the notification. So that's good to hear. And I got great news. Everybody that's in the chat right now, or those who will come up later, do me a favor. Go here to, I'm going to put it in the chats, guys. Go to my website, www.voicesgathering.com. I published the website today. The day is the day I launched the website. I hope that you guys will now start going through the website, checking out what we're doing. We got new content coming. We're selling new merchandise. We got everything from mugs and more mugs. Oh gosh, we have so much merchandise. So cop that merch. We got t-shirts. We have everything. And that is how you can support me on this podcast. So www.voicesgathering.com. Check out the website. Tell me what you think about the website. Go to the contact page. Send me a message. Let me know that you was there. Email me through the contact page. Then I know you really checked out the page. Okay? Thanks so much, guys. I truly appreciate you guys being here. So listen, also, we will be here right now on Mondays. Stay tuned because we may be coming up with a new day. We need to work with the days that's better for everybody or the majority. So right now it's Mondays, but if you tune into that website, you'll always get the latest updates. Check it out. Contact me through the website so I know that you was there. Drop me an email and yeah, we'll be in contact. Alrighty, I'm leaving you guys with much love. Yep, I was your first client. Your advice was so dope. I paid you that little old $10. You did, Latifah. And that $10 opened up the door and confirmation for me to do what I'm doing right now. So thank you so much for that love, girl. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. I can't wait to see you guys again next week. Next week, we're looking to do our Juneteenth conversation, brief conversation. I have some questions for you guys. And then we'll also be launching our t-shirts. So you might want to stay tuned and get our Juneteenth t-shirts as well for next year and other goodies. All right, guys. Thanks. I really appreciate you guys being here. I can't wait to see you next week. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.